Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am excited to share with you guys part one of the transformation of our master bathroom from a plain Jane room into a elegant vintage inspired retreat that we actually want to spend time in. So come along with me for part one of this exciting transformation. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the before. Per usual, I am still the world's worst of taking before photos. I tend to get super excited about a project and just start working on it and forget to take the before photos. However, since we only bought our house a couple of years ago, I was able to go back to the original listing and pull at least a couple of photos of the bathrooms to give you kind of an idea of the color of the walls and sort of what we were working with. So, like I said, the house was recently remodeled when we when we bought it. So all the walls were sort of the same grayish color, which was a nice neutral color to live with until we figured out, you know, what colors we wanted to do on our own. The entire house has a wood-like tile throughout, which is really, really nice. It's kind of a gray color. All of the countertops are these really nice quartz countertops, which in all of our previous homes, we'd always had laminate. So this was certainly an upgrade for us to have such nice countertops. All of the vanities are all white cabinetry, just like in the kitchen. So they're in good condition. The lighting was basic. It's just, you know, it was that silver row of 4 lights that goes across the top of the mirror. The mirror was tiny, completely out of proportion with the rest of the space around the vanity area. And there were no toilet paper holders, there was no towel racks, nothing. We don't even have a bathtub, which was a serious bummer for me. Both bathrooms only have tiled showers. They're good size showers, so, you know, at least they're decent. But if we live in this house for a long time, which I honestly don't know how long we'll be here, but we may consider at least in one of the bathrooms putting in a tub, because I would at least like to have that option somewhere in this house. Anyhow, so that's sort of what we were working with in this space. You can see we have our bathroom has a window, which is really nice for natural lighting. Our girls' bathroom is an interior space, so it does not. But I was certainly grateful to at least have a little bit of natural lighting in here. So now let's talk a little bit about my inspiration for designing the space. Okay, so even before I went on to Pinterest to start searching for ideas, there were 4 design elements that I knew I absolutely wanted to include in the bathroom. The first one is I wanted an off-white or cream and black color palette. I love how classic it is. It feels sophisticated, it feels clean, and those were all things that I wanted to feel when I walked into this bathroom. The second thing is I wanted picture frame moldings. I think they too are very classic, very sophisticated, very elegant, and they elevate a space. Both with your eye, if you go all the way up to the ceiling with it, and then just the overall feel that it gives the space. The next thing I knew I wanted to incorporate was wallpaper. There are so many options to choose from, and up until now I had always used the peel and stick because those were the most readily available. But in this particular project, I used a pre-pasted one that you stick into water, and I may never go back. I actually liked it so much more. But I'll talk more about the wallpaper when I get to the full tour here in a minute. But just know that that was definitely an element I knew had to be in the space. And then lastly, I knew that I wanted to decorate with vintage pieces as much as I possibly could to at least give it that sort of older, old home vintage feel. So once I narrowed down the design elements that I knew that I wanted to use, I went straight to Pinterest, created a board that I'm going to share with you guys here in a minute, and found a ton of different images that really solidified my my wants and the things that I already felt like I wanted to incorporate into the space. It definitely just made me feel like I was making the right decision, and I'm excited to start implementing those here in our bathroom. So starting from the floor and going up, I wanted to point out the rug. The rug was a Tuesday morning find. I got it for 20% off because the store was closing. And I loved, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's got kind of a mauve undertone to the rug, which paired really well with the paint color on the cabinets, which is Domino from Valspar, I believe. And that also has kind of a purpley undertone to it. And then the knobs are from Hobby Lobby. They were a clearance find. I think I paid 50 cents a piece for them. And I will give y'all a better close-up of those here in a minute. This bathroom is kind of a tight fit, so it's hard to get you guys a really, really good clear view of everything. And I'll give y'all a way better look at the mirror here in a minute. But I wanted to point out that I went ahead and put up the chair rail underneath the wallpaper because I wanted to start to kind of figure out exactly where I'm going to start to put all of my boxes for the picture frame moldings. And that was going to give me a little bit better idea. Sorry, my camera's a little off level right now. But I do plan on doing probably 2 sets of boxes. So having one that goes across the top that would end right there where the countertop starts, and then another one across the bottom. So doing 2 on that side. And then possibly doing 3 of them over here. Doing a skinnier one up at the top, and then doing 2 kind of equal sized ones. One that's going to fit just underneath the, or just to the top of the toilet bowl. And then the other one would go underneath it. It is a very tight fit in here between the wall and the toilet. So I had originally wanted to do sort of the Yucca board paneling on the back side of everything and then do the picture frame molding. But to be really honest, I just decided that this was a project I wanted to be able to entirely complete on my own. My husband works out of town a lot, and I didn't want to have to burden him with moving the toilet so that I could get to the back of that wall. And to be honest, we have textured walls, but it's not a super thick texture. So I think it'll still be just fine doing the picture frame molding on top of the wall. I'm not really worried about that. I wanted to point out the wallpaper, which earlier I mentioned that it was a pre-pasted wallpaper, and I could not have been happier with how that all worked out. I found it so much easier than the peel and stick paper, honestly. It was a lot more forgiving. I always had trouble with the peel and stick paper wanting to stick to itself if I wasn't careful, and then it can be really difficult to get it unstuck. So I was definitely glad that I went ahead and sprung a little bit more for this really pretty pre-pasted one. This one, and actually if I'm thinking about it, it really isn't all that different of a price from the peel and stick. I think for a double roll it was about $50, which all in all is not bad. And I ended up having enough to do everything here in the bathroom that I wanted to do. Okay, so over here on this side, the first thing I wanted to point out is the mirror. This was a thrifted mirror that I found, gosh, a few months back at our local thrift store, and I only paid $25 for it, I think. I absolutely love the scale of it, and it just is so pretty up against that black and white toile wallpaper. Okay, sorry that I keep kind of jumping around, but it's really hard to get a really clean shot of everything all at once. This stretch of wallpaper is so pretty. And I'm still trying to figure out what kind of shelving I can do over here. I have found on Facebook Marketplace a really pretty vintage wood one that's kind of got two, I'll put a picture of it on here if I can. So now I wanted to talk to you guys about the lighting. We picked a more modern fixture for the vanity lighting. It's very sleek, but I love the way that it looks. It's just so simple. I think it cost $26 on Amazon, which you cannot beat that. And then moving over here, show you guys a bit of our shower situation. So right now I've got the rod kind of at a normal height, you know, the standard, I don't even know what that is, that most shower curtains are. But I have found on Amazon that I can get one that will go all the way up to the ceiling and go down to the ground. So I think it's like a 93-inch, something like that. So my thought is that I'm going to try to kind of mirror what I have in the window over here at the shower and do maybe 2 panels and then have them, of course, go floor to ceiling. And I think that will really complete the look of the space. Because right now this whole area just feels super awkward to me. And then I added this little table that I had got from Hobby Lobby several years ago. I've spray painted it white for now. And I do think I like it in here. It's kind of housing our room spray and a basket and our toilet paper right now until I can get a toilet paper holder hung up. I've got one saved. I showed it on the mood board. This really pretty vintagey looking toilet paper holder that even has a little place to set your cell phone on it. I just thought it was absolutely darling. And now it's just occurred to me that I never even talked about the fact that I painted the ceiling black. I have always wanted to paint a ceiling, but I've always been way too scared, too intimidated by the thought of it to actually do it. So I decided I was just gonna, you know, get my act together, take a risk, and I ended up painting it the same black as the vanity, and I absolutely love it. My husband even loves it. The contrast with the cream walls, oh, which also is Alabaster by Benjamin Moore, not to be confused with Alabaster by Sherwin-Williams. Of course, I will link all of this in the description box so you guys know exactly what I used. But I love, love, love the contrast. And that black and white combination is just so classic, so elegant. Some of my thrift store frames over here. I'm just so excited about how this space is turning out. Okay guys, I hope y'all enjoyed part 1 of our 2-part bathroom makeover series. I know I am absolutely loving how it's turning out so far. It brings a smile to my face every time I walk in here. Be looking for part 2 probably in about 2 weeks. I've got to kind of budget for the rest of my materials and whatnot, so y'all know how that goes. But anyhow, until next time, bye now.